Well, I've been a full-time nomad for 3 years now, and I've enjoyed it. I sold my house just about 3 years ago with the objective to reposition my life in Florida. And I pretty much have done that. As a nomad, I've used my flexibility to come visit my mother during the pandemic. And even in the summer, I figured I'd stay up here in New Jersey until I go back home to Florida. Because I do consider Florida my home, even though I travel away, again, to use my flexibility to visit my mom, to do different things. And so, what I've always shared, if I ever do buy property again, in my mind, the only thing I would consider is an RV lot, meaning a piece of property with a concrete pad that you could legally park an RV, and all it has is utilities, electric, water, sewer, and just a concrete pad to put an RV. Why is that the only thing I consider? Because it's as least maintenance as possible. Okay. Because if a hurricane comes, I never have to worry. Because you don't need flood insurance when you don't have a house. You have something you can tow. So it's a unique thing, an RV lot, where there's not a lot of entanglements, but there's no way around it. Owning property is an entanglement itself with the municipalities, property taxes. And RV lots within RV communities do have an HOA fee, meaning a homeowners association fee. Now, for that fee, you get certain things depending on the community. Access to a pool, access to bathhouses, access to basketball courts, tennis courts, whatever it may be. And so I've been keeping my eye out. And like I always tell you, if you're ever looking to buy property in Florida, the time to buy is in the height of the summer through October. End of July, August, September, October. That's when you want to have an eye, because that's when everyone gets tired of Florida. Why? Because it's very hot, very nasty, hurricane season, and people had enough. And so why I am not in a rush to buy anything, I never have been. I've been looking online, realtor.com, at RVs or RV lots to see if the right opportunity at the right price may come. And today, one of those opportunities possibly has presented itself. An RV lot 1 block away from the beach in South Florida for under $100,000 in the 80s, about $80,000. So it's something I'm considering. Okay. Why am I considering it? Well, it's a long-term play. It has all the things I mentioned. It doesn't have complete freedom. You know, I did a video yesterday about the nomad life is complete freedom, and I love it. And even if I was to get this property, you know, forget about a mortgage or anything. If you had no mortgage on this property, if you bought it, you would always have to account for the taxes and the electric and the HOA. The HOA fee is about $200 per month. It covers the water, the sewer, and all the amenities. The only utility you pay for is electric. So $200 a month HOA fee also includes basic cable, not that I want it. $200 for that. It's probably $100 for an electric bill at the height of the summer in Florida. So that's $300. Property taxes are around $1,200 a year. So, you know, add another $100 about a month. So I'm looking at anywhere between $400 to $500 per month that will never go away, only gradually go up. Can I live cheaper than that? Yes. If I continue to full-time nomad, stay at campgrounds, stealth park, I would not have to spend that extra $500 a month. And I would never be obligated to something. So that's why it's hard to say, should I buy an RV lot? But I'm seriously considering this one, like I've considered a few other ones. I'm thinking about it. And I like to think about it because part of why I live free is because I can entertain things. I can window shop. Like I say, sometimes to satisfy your cravings, window shop. I remember when I went on an extreme diet and I cut out all the fast food, I would watch like drive-in diners and dumps or whatever it is with Guy Fieri. And I would look at food, like food reviews on YouTube. And I would just indulge visually. So now what I'm doing is I'm talking out that I am going to indulge tonight. I'm going to indulge on visualizing me putting an offer in on this RV lot. I'm going to visualize tonight me finding a home base for the rest of my life. Would I do that for the rest of my life? I don't know. When I bought my first property in my early 20s, I said, well, I'll probably live here forever. I was way wrong on that. Now, I lived here for 15 years. But when I did that, I didn't know anything about finances. I didn't know anything about life. This RV lot would be pretty much the cheapest you can live in South Florida. It would be very reasonable. Savant, great to see you. Yes, get a lot. You can always sell it. I'm thinking about that. And currently, there's someone on the lot renting it. So I could just keep the rental if I'm not ready now, but I don't know if I'd do that. The biggest risk right now buying this RV lot is that we're in a pandemic. Okay. How does that affect this RV lot? Well, I did read the HOA website that they still allow the pool and the bathhouse and all the amenities to be open, but there's some regulations. Florida right now is the worst state in America as far as the spread of the COVID-19. But long term, what it does is it's still right by the ocean. If I get the RV lot, I'm not going to buy a motorhome. I'm going to buy probably a $10,000 travel trailer that my mom could stay in the winter if she wants to come down, that I could put a weight set so I don't have to go to the gym anymore to lift weights and I can get back in that mode. And that will be it. And I'll keep the Jeep Renegade and eventually get a Prius, and I would never tow it. The only time I would tow that RV is if a hurricane comes. I would rent either a U-Haul or pay a towing company to go tow it into storage until the hurricane passes. See, but all those things come into play. I got to baby this property. It's a tough call. It's something that I have to talk out in tonight's live feed. Savat says, I appreciate you. I appreciate all my members. He says, guess where I'm taking a load to? Tampa Bay, Florida. Well, brother, you're going in the height of fire emoji hurricane season, but more importantly, the hot, humid weather. But money bag emoji, because better to be going to Tampa Bay at the end of July than to Kansas in the middle of September. So Florida's a win. Good to see you, Savat. Shout out to all my truck drivers, brother. I appreciate you. Safe travels. Enjoy that trip. Tampa's still a blessing. Shout out to Vanessa, another viewer in Tampa. But yes, Savant, I'm really thinking about this, brother. It's tough. In one sense, I would be ready if I can visualize me owning this property and dealing with the somewhat entanglements. I could visualize me doing it because I've looked, there's nothing else you're going to buy that is less entangled. Is it as free as full-time nomading or renting? No, it's not. Now, the only other thing that you have to think about when you're buying property in Florida, and this is right by the beach, is does the sea level rise? Now, that's speculation, but look, statistically, the sea level has risen. Now, will I still be alive if climate change does happen in my lifetime, if the sea levels rise? Probably not. I'll probably be at the end of my life. But this area is in a flood zone, so that's something I have to consider. But again, I don't have to have flood insurance because it's just an RV lot. It's an interesting thing. Today I did a video about freedom, living the nomad life. And now I'm talking about possibly getting married to a piece of property. Would I do it? I'm thinking about doing it. But I'm taking my time. I'm slow and easy. I'm counting the cost. There's a scripture that says you should never buy something until you calculate the full cost. Why? Because if you start and you don't realize the full cost, you will look foolish because you won't be able to finish. So tonight and in the next 24, 48 hours, I will calculate the cost, not just financially, but emotionally, of owning property again. Because there's an emotional burden of owning property. There is. Part of me documenting being a full-time nomad these past 3 years is not just the financial freedom, that's part of it, but also the emotional freedom of less stuff, owning less stuff. And it's true. It's 100% true. So then why even think about owning an RV lot? Well, look, it's setting up my future. It's giving a place for my mother if she comes in the winter. It's giving me a place to not have to worry about the gyms anymore. Would I stay in Florida all year round? I thought about that today. I may still travel up north to get out of the heat in July, August, and September. 3 months. But an RV lot, I could just tow something or just jump in my car, leave the RV on the lot, and just live out of my car for 3 months like I do now. I'm thinking about it. Now, there's currently someone on that lot that's renting it. And I talked to the real estate agent, and they said that, yes, the renter would like to stay. And so if you're interested in renting it out, the renter would like to stay. I don't know if I want to do that. I have to think about that. And like I said, my mom's in her mid-70s, so I don't know if she's going to come down, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to be a landlord, and I don't know if I want to waste years in renting. Edith, consider corrosion to vehicles as well. That's a good point, Edith. If you don't undercoat and apply other surface protectors, your metal home and vehicles will rust quickly. That's an excellent point. And require continual maintenance of Oceanside. Edith, you're a very smart woman. You bring up an excellent point. It's true. Look, when you live by the ocean, the salt water corrodes quicker. But I do like the idea of, right now I live by the ocean. My Jeep is always by the ocean. So that won't change. My vehicle will always be by the ocean, even if I'm a full-time nomad. Why? Because part of my journey of downsizing, selling my house, and living in my car is I always want to be by the ocean, even if I don't own property. So I look at my car, which I have about 160,000 miles on a 4-year-old car because I've traveled up and down the East Coast several times. I'm willing to accept that, my car is going to age faster. I'm willing to accept if I buy an RV lot and if I put a $10,000 travel trailer on there, I'll get about 10 years out of it. $1,000 a year to have a house, I'll take that. Plus the other recurring fees I talked about with the HOA and the electric. So look, I've been studying and looking, and this is the best option if I'm ever going to buy property. I know the HOA is always a contentious thing. But I know through my research, there's no way you're going to buy property in Florida and park an RV on it next to the ocean unless you're in an RV lot community. You can buy property inland in Florida and put your RV there without a problem. And it won't be in an HOA. But I don't want to live on countryside. I want to live on the beach side. Because what I've learned is there's a big difference between living by the beach and living by the country. For those who are longtime viewers and didn't get blocked or are no longer part of the membership, I looked at an RV lot inland in Florida for $25,000 2 years ago. Okay, $25,000. The HOA fee was about $160,000. Taxes were $500 in Okeechobee, Florida. But hour away from the beach. Do I want to do that? No, I almost did that because it was so damn cheap. Do I want to live by the beach? You're damn right I do. I do. And some people warn me about that. Savat says, $1,000 a year is as cheap as it gets. 100 emoji, brother. It's true. Nah, it's true, Savat. You get it, man. I appreciate you. Yeah, because if you think about that, right? I mean, I could probably keep the travel trailer longer. I'm going to get a new travel trailer. But I'm going to get a small, basic, probably like a 17-foot travel trailer. It'll have a door, that area for my mom to stay, me to stay, something like that. I'm never going to tow it. Unless there's a hurricane, I'll just tow it to storage. But I'll put it there. I'll put a weight set in there. I have a guest room for my mom if she ever comes. And I'm done. $10,000. And I think I could probably get 10, 15 years out of it. And even if so I think that's a win. No maintenance, really. Now, so that plus the $400 to $500 a month to maintain the property. Again, you got a $200 HOA fee. You gotta fit, and that includes all utilities except electric. You got electric. Let's just say at the height of the summer, electric's $100. To cool an RV ain't gonna be much, but let's just say it was $100. So that's $300 plus property taxes, about another $100 to $150, about $450 a month. I don't know, man. It's something I want to talk to you guys about tonight. I want you to hear my thoughts. I want you to hear the struggle of a person who's fully free from any commitments. I'm single. I don't have any kids. I don't know if it makes sense to own a property, but I don't want to lie to you and say I don't entertain thinking about it. But I'm just talking about it. I'm thinking about it. I'm not doing it. I may do it. Could I see myself living in an RV on an RV lot and taking trips here and there? Yeah, I could. In Florida, I could do that. I could definitely do it. A block in from the beach, I could do that. What do I worry about? I worry a little bit about being entangled with an HOA, but it is pretty much a resort community. Not that it's meaning that it's mainly snowbirds and tourists. I do worry about the pandemic, how that may affect common amenities or the community itself. I worry about that. I do worry about, even if it's down the road, it's in a flood zone, sea level rising, global warming. I'm not a huge freak on that, but there's something out there that I think about. Okay, it's not a hoax. They said the coronavirus was a hoax. Not a hoax. But there's no exact science to it either, so I'm not like a nut about it. But it's something I have to think about. You have to think, if you're going to own property in Florida, which is at sea level, you have to think about it. Mike Reed, give me your thoughts, man. Mike Reed, unfortunately, there aren't many options for people trying to live below their means. I agree. I think this is a good option, though. I think owning an RV lot, if you can get it at a price point, because we're talking about under $1,000 a month. If you get a loan, you can get a loan on it for 10 years. You're about under $1,000 a month. If you had no loan on it, you're at about $500 to $400 a month. So the average rental in America is $1,200. $1,200 a month. That's the average rental in America. Now, is it cheaper to be a nomad full-time or to own a home base? Cheaper to be a nomad. A little bit more aggravation, a little more stress, but more freedom, more passion is true. Edith, I understand how you feel. I want to purchase land up here that I could park on by law with a van. Good luck with that. Or an RV. Just have to have a home base. What I found through my research, Edith, is whether you're in an RV lot community or just buy property, it technically by the letter of the law, your RV has to be fully self-contained, meaning you have to have a bathroom, you have to have a kitchenette, and you have to have a sleeping quarters. And if you have a van, it's got to be self-contained, meaning it's got to be like a Class B or have all the amenities of a Class B. Again, a bathroom with a shower, sleeping quarters, and kitchenette. And you have to have the utilities to be able to get rid of your own waste and all those different things. The RV lot and having a home base, where's the benefit? I'm sharing some of the cons. The benefit is, look, if I ever, God forbid, get hurt, that's it. I'm not going to be at a campground. I'm kind of just going to sit outside my RV lot and chill. Do I really want to do that? If I got hurt. If I know people retiring now, though. They're still in their 70s living the nomad life. Do I want to live the nomad life full-time in my 70s? I wouldn't be mad at a home base when I'm in my 70s. Does it make sense to buy now? My biggest risk now is this pandemic. So I don't know. It's because the pandemic, look, it could really change some things in Florida. Mike Reed, just so you know, I've seen big developers come through and buy RV lots, and boom, you are shit out of luck. They buy yours at a lower value. Well, I appreciate your input on that, Mike. Yeah, I don't know. I know this community. It's one of the communities that I've been looking at down in South Florida for years now. There's only been a few communities that I've looked at down there. Is this in the nicest area? It's in a safe area. It's in a safe, nice area. Not the most prestigious, but it's still a nice area, good area. That's why the property taxes are decent. If I go to the premier location, the people are a little bit more snooty. Property taxes are double. HOA is almost double. I don't want that. That's a lot of entanglement. Do I want fixed neighbors again? I have to think about that if I'm going to own an RV lot. Well, this RV community that I'm thinking of, for an RV lot under 100,000, again, most of the neighbors are not even there in the summer. They're snowbirds. So I really wouldn't have full-time neighbors. On one side of the RV lot, there's no neighbors. It's like on a dead end. So I like that. That's why I'm looking at this one, okay? Because I don't have people on both sides of me. On one side of me, it's just like grass and green palm trees. On the other side, there's another RV lot, but they're only seasonal. Now, they do have bathhouses in the community. What does that mean? That means that I don't even have to use my shower or my bathroom. I could use the bathhouse. Less maintenance there and more options. I like that in case I wanted to do it. Again, I like the fact, no, I could put my weight set in there. I can make a home again. Would I want to be in Florida right now with the weather as hot as it is, with the pandemic out of control, or would I like to be a full-time nomad in New Jersey at a campground? It's a tough call. I mean, if my mother wasn't alive, would I still be up in New Jersey? I don't know. I definitely wouldn't have came up here in March. Obviously, whatever decision I make is going to have to be for me. And then if it can add value to my mother, that'd be great. I would love to see my mom come down there. I told her either way, even if I don't buy property, we'll rent something. But she's got entanglements here with different things. It's something you got to give a lot of thought of. But when you're dealing with a property that fits your criteria, you also have to be a little bit like a hawk, meaning that good properties don't stay on the market forever. Now, you don't want to rush because there's always another property. I learned that too. I've looked at several properties and always another one that comes up. Always. So, but I've also, can I say that I ever felt regret in not buying a property? Well, that one RV lot I looked at last year, I kind of regretted it a little bit. That was $109,000. So this is about $30,000 cheaper. That one tiny home I looked at was nice, but it had a very big flood insurance requirement per year. And do I want to pay for flood insurance? No. Because that's just like, that's why I don't want a house. I want an RV lot. I don't want to pay for flood insurance. I don't want to deal with central air. I just want a $10,000 or so RV, put it on there. When it's old, tow it away, get a new one. That's it. Mike Reed says, all you need is the best insulated and the heat won't matter. No, that's true. Look, good point. If I'm in an RV and I got the air conditioning running, and if it's insulated, it won't matter. I still like to spend some time. I still like to be outdoors. That's the other thing I got to think about. Because I'm not looking to stay indoors all day. However, this RV lot is right by the beach. What do I do all day? Well, guys, when I have free time, I go outside for a walk and I go to the beach. Okay. So, and if I get this RV lot and I'm still working remotely, I'm working from the RV lot. That makes things more enjoyable. It does. With Starbucks still closed, that's a win. Would I be making coffee at home and stop going to Starbucks? I probably would. At one point, that disappointed me. But like I say, now going through the Starbucks drive-thru, it doesn't disappoint me. Because, I don't know, maybe a year from now, Starbucks is back open up inside and you can sit down, you can do all those things. But right now, in most populated areas, just not the case. And I think even if the pandemic, we get the vaccine or whatever's going to happen. Frank Breeze, thank you, man, for your graciousness, Frank. Woman equals stress and problems. Well, amen. I'll tell you one thing. Even if I buy this RV lot, I ain't get married. Frank, thank you, brother. I'll tell you that right now. I'll tell you guys, stay single. Now, all my women, too, I'll tell you, stay single. Men stay single. Women stay single. That's my opinion. Everyone should do what they want. But I know for a fact, I can't deal with the stress of a relationship. I respect women, men, everyone, but I know myself. What I'm asking myself tonight and what I'm thinking about is, can I deal with the stress of owning property? Because I owned property for 15 years and it was stressful. But I had a 1,200 square foot condo, I had 2 bedrooms, 1.5 baths. I had a air condenser outside that I had to replace twice. I had renovations that I did to every room. I had carpets, crown mold. I'm not doing any of that. I think that I could handle the stress of just owning a raw RV lot with a very cheap travel trailer on there and letting that be my home base. I think I can handle that. Do I want to handle that? I don't know. I got to think about it. Let's take a hydration break. I want you guys to think about, what do you want to do with your life? Do you want to be a full-time nomad? Do you want to have a home base? I got to think about this. Frank, shout out to you. Mike Reed, Edith, I appreciate you, Savat. Savat going to Tampa in a truck driving game. Money bag emoji. Yeah, guys, this is one of those live feeds where I document my thoughts. I document my journey. You know, I'm really not trying to teach you lessons other than share what I go through so that you can work out in your own life what you're going through in a thought process. One is, again, don't rush. 2 is, again, when there is a good property, be prepared, know your finances, know the market value, know the risk, know the reward. What are the risks to buying this RV lot? Again, pandemic could really get a hold of Florida. The common amenities could shut down. The HOA could have assessments if certain people, have issues. And I don't think there'll be a bunch of foreclosures, but that's a risk. When you're in an HOA community, if a housing crisis happens and certain people start paying their HOA fees, that's part of the risk of an HOA. Is the HOA well-funded? Yes, as of today, they're well-funded. They have reserves. What are the rewards? Again, look, I have a self-contained unit. I have my future kind of mapped out. I still have a level of flexibility. I don't have the full flexibility of full-time nomad, but I still have a great amount of flexibility. If I leave that RV lot, would I worry about it? No, because it's just a raw concrete pad. Would I think about it? Yes. When you're a full-time nomad, I don't think about anything other than the moment I'm in. When you own a property, no matter what, it's like having a child. Look, once you have a kid, like I know Edith, she's trying to basically encourage, Savat, $5 super chat, man. Thank you for your graciousness. Get the lot. Especially if it's next to the beach. Well, damn it, Savat, man. Thank you, brother, for your kindness, man. You and Frank, thank you. Shout out to you and your brother, too, Savat, man. I still think about your brother. Thank you for that graciousness, man. Thank you. Mike Reed, I've heard a lot of condos like these. It's pretty much like a condo, Mike Reed. It's about how many units are in this HOA. It's a good question. Let me Google that, man. And I'll read the rest of the comment. Frank, thank you again, Savat. Thank you, brother. That was very gracious of you, man. Let me Google this community. I want to see how many units are in here again. I forgot. It's a few hundred. Yeah, it's a lot. It's about almost 400. So it's a lot of units. Mike Reed said, I heard they're like condos. What is the smallest the HOA wants to see on the lot? There is no, good question. There is no size restriction on what type of RV you can put on the lot. The only requirement, there's not even an age requirement of the RV. The RV could be anything. You can have a 14-footer or 10-footer. There's only one requirement of the RV that you would put on this lot, that it's fully self-contained. That's it. Has a bathroom with full hookups, kitchenette, and a split living quarters. Fully self-contained RV. So that's a great question, Mike. And yes, it could be any size, as long as it's fully self-contained. It could even be older. They do have like a stipulation that has to be presentable. Meaning like they don't want something like falling apart. But that is subject to interpretation. But I've walked this RV community and there's a mix. There's new units, there's like transients, and there's some older ones. But it's a respectful, I would say like a middle class retirement community. It's mainly a retirement and snowbird community. It is not filled with young people raising their children. It's not like a hillbilly special, meaning like, it's not like a bunch of travel trailers with tarps on it. It's a good like middle end community. Not too ritzy, not too destitute, kind of in the middle. That's what I like. That's what you're kind of looking for. Thank you, Savat, man. I'm going to really think about it, Savat. Your life is short. I mean, look, average life expectancy is 80. So my mom's 72, I'm 40. So if I get this RV lot this summer, if my mom goes, that would solve that problem to the rest of her life. She would always be able to live with me if she gets to the point she can't live. And look, for the rest of my life, I mean, unless there would be a major issue, I don't think I would ever sell. I said that about my first property, but I was 20 some years old. And again, I bought too much house, too expensive. This would be below my means. Because here's the other thing, and I'm going to get back to the comments. I appreciate all my members. Thank you. What I have to think about is if I have to, if I lose my job and if I own that property, am I screwed? Because Florida has a lower pay scale and the property, I have to think about the job opportunities in that area. There are job opportunities in that area, and I think I'd be able to support myself no problem. I gave the 10 commandments to the simple life. Would my budget be under $2,000 per month no matter what? Yes. So whether I get a loan on the property or whatever, my housing costs would be under $1,000. My food costs would come down because food costs are higher on the road. So my food costs, let's just say, would be $1,500. And I'll probably be at about a $1,500 budget per month. Now, obviously, I still have insurances. I think I would be right around there. I would increase my budget just a little bit, but I'd still be able to get a job in that area, live below my means, and be okay. Worst case scenario. And even DoorDash, I think DoorDash, even if DoorDash was my only hustle, I could, if I worked that full-time until I could get another full-time career job, I could probably pull $2,000 a month. Mike Reed says, okay, good. Yeah, yes. What size RV could you have there? Edith, if they let you rent it out, that's great because you could always make some income if you were away from it. Yeah, if they don't allow sub-renting. They do allow you to rent it. You have to rent it out. You can't rent it out day by day. You can rent it out month by month or longer. So they don't let you rent out per day, but month by month or several months. There's currently a renter on the lot. I'm trying to find out how much they rent it for. So the real estate agent said they would be interested in continuing to rent from you if you bought it. Do I want to do that? Not really. But I like the option. That's a good question, Edith. Mike Reed, I'm good to whenever the Lord wants me. Yeah, you look, as far as when it's time to go home to the Lord and life is over, I feel the same way. I will say there was one time in my life where I was in the hospital. I thought I was close to death. I wasn't, but I thought I was. And it's scary to feel close to death, but I do have a peace in my soul. NVRV, all the way from Alaska, 199 Super Chat. If the renter keeps place up, I would rent it for a while. NVRV, give me that financial advice. Shout out to you. She got a budget line item for everything. She's very smart. She's a full-time nomad in Alaska, living out of her NVRV Nissan van. So if you want to see that, click on her channel, subscribe. She does videos on her own terms. She doesn't disclose her personal information. I like that. Savat, shout out to you, man. I'm sorry you got to go. Thank you, brother, for that tip. Shout out to you. Safe travels to Tampa. Love to you, to your brother. Thank you for everything, Savat. God bless you, man. I appreciate you, and I see you out there, man. Keep in touch. And if you want, come back in the live chat if I'm still going, brother. God bless you, Savat. Shout out to my God, man. Yeah, NVRV is interesting. I don't know. It's a lady. I asked the real estate agent. The thing just came on the market. He said he's going to find out all the details about the renter because this property is owned by an old couple. The old couple has gotten sick. Their son is the executor of the estate. So they want to sell the RV lot and they don't. The renter's been in place on that RV lot for 10 years. So the renter is stable. She's been there for 10 years. It's like supposedly an older lady. And she just drives like a little car and she's got the RV that's been parked there. So, but he says he doesn't think she's renting it for that much a month. He's got to find out the numbers. I don't know. But I'm sure it would probably be at least $500 a month. So, I don't know. MVRV said she would think about keeping the renter in place. It's an option. It's a good option to have. But again, like this winter, do I want to have a home base? Yeah, I do. A big thing about Florida that changed with the pandemic, this is very key for all my nomads, is stealth parking in a Planet Fitness parking lot is gone because they're not 24/7 anymore. So the Planet Fitness 24/7 stealth parking option's gone. And even the Walmart, because there's some Walmarts in Florida that they got the all-night thing, but they're gone. Even the, what was the other one I was using? Even though I don't have an RV, what was the other one? The Golden Corral. I don't think those are 24/7 anymore. I don't know, though. I'd have to check on that. So a lot of the stealth things are gone. Now, the campgrounds, as of today, is still open, but I wouldn't mix in a lot of stealthing. So I have to think about, when I think about tonight, I'm going to be role-playing out owning this lot. In the winter, do I see myself renting out to this lady? Nah. I like the option, though, MVRV and Edith. But I kind of see myself like this will prepare me for the winter. Okay? Because if I do make an offer on the property, it's about the end of July. We'd probably close around October. That's when I'm thinking about going down. Give this renter time to make her plans. If my mom wants to come, we go down there. I put the RV on there. I'm keeping the Jeep. I'm not going to upgrade. I could still DoorDash with the Jeep. I don't have to worry about stealth parking. I don't have to worry about the gym. Would I cancel my Planet Fitness membership? Yes. The Holy Grail. Guys, if I'm going to own an RV lot, I'm not going to keep the Nomad starter kit. I'm not going to keep the Planet Fitness membership. The only thing I'm going to keep out of the I'm going to do probably a video tomorrow, the Nomad starter kit. The only thing I would keep is the DoorDash kit, because I would still DoorDash. Frank, where would you buy the lot? Southeast Florida. I don't know if I want to say the exact place yet, because if I do buy it, that's something I have to think about if I want to give the location. I don't know. So I'll keep you posted. But Southeast Florida. Mike Reed. Your sisters are going to kick your ass if you take your mother. Well, my sisters, they wouldn't care. Obviously, look, they love my mom, but they got a different thing. One of my sisters, it wouldn't affect her at all. The other one, I don't know if it would affect her or not. The main thing it would affect is my mom has doctors in New Jersey, and she's on certain medications. I don't know if those medications could get transferred to Florida. And like right now, my mom's been doing like virtual doctor visits every month. So look, eventually if my mom couldn't live on her own, all of us, I would have to get together with my sisters. My sisters aren't in a position where my mom could live with them. Like I said, one of my sisters, she's on like temporary housing with the state. And my other sisters, she's locked up in some other thing too. So that's one thing I consider. I mean, now the timing is kind of within its timing. It would, I don't know if my mom would do it. I don't. But if she would, it would position the opportunity to be there if she gets to a point she can't live on her own. I always said when I started my nomadic life, look, a big part of it was just to reposition in Florida. However, it's very tough to go back to being tied to something. Could I live the nomadic life forever? I did a video about it. Yes. Yes. I would just be either have a fully self-contained RV and go from campground to campground, or just rent an RV lot. Be like this lady. This lady is a full-time nomad. The lady currently on this lot is a full-time nomad. She has a small car, and she has that travel trailer. She rents but here's the thing. Now, she's an old lady, and I think she only paid about $500 to rent this RV lot. She's been there for 10 years. Now, here's what happens. Someone else is going to buy it, maybe, and she ain't going to have a place to go. She's going to have to rent somewhere else, and she ain't going to find it for that cheap. But there's a million other places to rent. It just may not be in the same area. I got to think about it. Backwoods, what's up, man? Shout out to the Northwest. Hey, brother, I hope all's well. Backwoods, give me your thoughts, man. Shout out to you and all my members. Backwoods, I'm looking at an RV lot in South Florida. You know I've been making videos about the full-time nomad life. What do you think, brother? You think I should buy property again? You think I should say full-time nomad? You know, ultimately, I'm strong-willed. I do what I want, but I like to know your opinion, brother. I like to know your opinion. All my members in here right now, if you're still in the live chat, let me know you think I should buy this lot. Yes or no, just for fun. I own whatever decision I make, good or bad, I'll own it. I'll take accountability for it, but just for fun. You tell me RV lot yes, RV lot no. MVRV, thank you again. Frank, thank you again. And Sabat, thank you again for those tips. I appreciate that. MVRV, you keep living your life out there. Hopefully everything's good for you in Alaska. You're a very smart woman, I think, a lot of you. I know you're going to do great whatever your goals are. You know, what are your goals in life? I always say, like, you know, if you're thinking about something, Michael Brown, RV lot, yes. All right, well, definitely give me some new content, Mike. Thank you, brother. Thank you, Michael, for being a member. I appreciate you, brother. We got one for the RV lot. Yeah, I mean, it'll give you some new videos to make. Stretch PK. I think you'll make the right choice. Damn, I appreciate that positive comment, man. I appreciate you, man. Shout out to Stretch PK, man. One of my newest members, man. God bless you. Yeah, I mean, I would take it through the whole process of buying it. I mean, I'm definitely going to show it. In some form, I'm going to show the RV lot. I'd show you, I'd show you what travel trailer I buy. Definitely show you the inside. I'll be doing live feeds from inside of a travel trailer, not inside my car. That'd be a little different. But sometimes I've been doing live feeds from like outside. You guys saw I do one from a gas station down in Florida, be psychopaths all over the place. Now I'll be in an RV lot in my robe, butt naked. Yes. I may do it. Mike Reed, I'd say try it out. You can always sell. Good comment, Mike. The only risk is, here's the only risk. Well, one of the major risks. If I buy and we do go into a recession and the pandemic does get worse in Florida, the property value will go down. I got to think about that. So right now it's kind of fairly priced, around $80,000 or so. Okay. What if RV lots sold for in that community? For anywhere between $110,000. Well, the ones that have a water view, there are some that have a water view. Those have sold for about $200,000. This don't have a water view, but it's an end unit. I don't have any neighbors. Well, I got one neighbor on one side, no neighbors on the other. So the ones that got a water view, they're $200,000. The cheapest one in a bad location in the community sold for $73,000. This is priced around $80-some thousand. Again, it's an old couple that got sick, and now their son is the executor. He's trying to get rid of it. Backwards. Okay, definitely do some research. I will, brother. Pray for me. About the property neighbors. Yeah, that's true. Well, I ain't going to have one neighbor on one side. The other neighbor is a snowbird. I have walked a community location. How much? It's around $80,000. Property taxes, $1,200 a year. HOA fee, $200 a year. It's got a pool by the ocean access. It's not too much to do it. Yeah, I don't think, like, even if I get stuck and we go in a recession and property values drop or whatever, I mean, like I said, I'd still be able to DoorDash and get by. I wouldn't do like I did when I did in my 20s and buy a property and totally fucking like have to work 2-3 jobs just to make ends meet. So, I mean, I wouldn't be as free as I am now. But look, guys, you know me, like I'm Florida or I'm not in Florida because I'm getting out of hurricane season or visiting my mom. I'm not nomadic fanatic, and no disrespect to him. I'm not a guy that goes traveling around the country. That's just not who I am. So, you know what I mean? I got to think about this. I love you, brother. Backwoods says, you only live once. Well, yeah, I'm 40. I'm middle-aged. Try it out, bro. If you don't like it, you can always sell. I'll be pissed. You got it. I appreciate you, Backwoods. God bless you, man. Thank you so much for coming back and all that you do for me. Thank you, man. Edith, I'd say yes, as you are obviously not a spontaneous creature. That's true. I learned from my lessons. And if it is yes, that will be the right decision. Thank you, Edith. You can always rent it. That's true. And that was a good question. I have to know my options. One of my options would be, yeah, you make a good point. If I really don't like it and if property values drop, I could just rent it out. Right now there's a renter on there, so there is a market for it. You can always rent it out for a while. You don't have to do it all at once. You make an excellent point. When I bought my first property, my biggest mistake was I tried to do it all at once. What does that mean? I bought a condo. I tried to furnish it all at once. I tried to renovate it all at once, and I went in a lot of debt, and I screwed myself. For like 10 years, just screwed. One thing I like about an RV lot, there's no furniture to buy. Why? Because I'm buying an RV lot. I'm buying an RV, a travel trailer. The furniture comes with it inside the travel trailer. I'll never change that. And that's it until that's gone. And then I'll do a new RV or whatever. And there's no renovations. There's a little bit more maintenance, but there's bathhouses there. I don't even have to use the shower. So I'm thinking about it backwards. Send it. Yeah. I don't know, guys. I mean, it's exciting to think about. That sounds weird to say, but because either way, I don't feel pressured. If I don't go through with it, I'm not screwed. If I do go through with it, I don't think I'm screwed. I think part of my long-term goals has this as an option. However, like I've shared in many videos, not having a home base is still a great option. And I may go that route. I'm talking this out. See, when you have options, I can window shop. You may say, Sam, it frustrates me when you window shop. Well, guys, this is part of the freedom of living below your means. Now, does it put me closer to my main objective, which is retiring early? I'm going to take a hydration break. We're going to talk about that next. Yes. Yes. I think backwards. If you find the right person or people that are chill, where you can rent it and come and go, live in peace. I like that word. And harmony. I love that word. With people, if you can be. I like where you're going with that. Be positive. I like that. I know you'll make the right decision, bro. Man, backwards, God bless you, man. I appreciate that. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Yeah, so let's talk about this, guys. I'm just talking this. I hope you guys are enjoying this. Thank you again for all my members. Thank you, MVRV. Thank you, Savat. Thank you, Frank. I'm looking for my preacher rag. Guys, if I live in an RV lot, it's gonna be a different thing like seeing a Laffy. I have my preacher rag on standby. I lost my preacher rag. Damn. Hold on, guys. Damn. I don't know what happened to it. All right, well, I'm sweating. But does this bring me closer? Jay Node, what's up, man? Have you spent some time around the property? Yes. I visited the community several times. I know the area well. It has some pros and some cons. It's in a good area. It's not in a bad area. It's a little isolated. There's a Publix close by. There's a it's in a good area. It's in a good area. And I know it well. There's a couple negatives with the area, as far as if I had to commute to different places. But I think overall it'd be good. I mean, obviously, look, a hurricane comes. It's right by the ocean. I'm in trouble, but it's an RV lot. That's why I get an RV lot. I don't worry about it. The pandemic in Florida growing, I worry about that. But yeah, I've been by the area. I think the area is a good area. So thank you, Jay. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate all your support. So let me get back to the question I was thinking about. Does this bring me closer to one of my main objectives, which is retiring early, or at least having the option? Because if I buy property, I'm locking myself into a little bit more financial commitment, so that kind of pushes you further away from retirement. Well, if I see myself retired, I'm living in Florida most of the year, no matter what. So if I'm a full-time nomad, I'm going from campground to campground. So I kind of eliminate some wear and tear of constantly driving. I would eliminate some food cost of being on the road. And I still think my monthly bills would be under $2,000 a month. Like I said, I did the video yesterday, 10 Commandments of Living Simple. Your budget as a single person has to be under $2,000 a month. Why? Because then you can survive on $15 per hour. And if I'm going to retire early, I'd have to be making at least $1,500 $15 per hour, whether it's side hustle, passive income, whatever. I don't have as much flexibility, but as you get older, you want more comfort, so you give up some flexibility. I eliminate some risk of living on the road. I add some stability. Would my financial objectives still be in line? I would say overall they would still be in line. There would be a little bit more expense in some areas, a little bit less in others, more commitment. I don't think I blow my budget out of the water. I don't think I hurt myself financially. My biggest risk is I am obligated to something, I'm committed to something, and if a 5-alarm coronavirus, zombie apocalypse, sea level rising, property goes down to zero worth, that's my biggest risk. Could that happen? It could, anything could happen. Backwoods. Hurricane emoji, ever comes, just dip out. That's what I plan to do. That's why the only property I would own in Florida is RV lot, because I don't ever have to worry about a hurricane. Dip out of the property. I believe a home base, if thought out properly, I like that, can be very healthy. It may be a little bit healthier, that's true. Less stressful life, a little less exciting, but less stressful. But it's all how you embrace life. That's an excellent point. Yeah, would my excitement level go down? Look, I can't lie to you. I would add stability and safety, but I wouldn't be, like, I'm a little bit on edge sometimes because I'm constantly moving. Now I'll be a little bit more, I'm a little bit more in a routine. I'm a little bit more a creature of habit now. Why? Because I'm going back to the same place every day. And my adventure would probably be traveling out of that area in the summer during a hurricane. Would I be willing to accept that? I probably would. Mike, make sure you get gap insurance on the trailer. Oh, okay. Yeah, I have to price that out. I think that, I know I looked at an RV, a travel trailer that cost about $10,000 a year ago, and I checked with my car insurance. Technically, you don't have to have RV insurance. What does that mean? If you buy a travel trailer, not a motorhome, if you buy a travel trailer, technically when you tow it, your car insurance covers the liability of the travel trailer hitting something else. However, if your travel trailer gets destroyed, if your travel trailer gets stolen, or even if I leave it parked, if a hurricane blows it away, it wouldn't be covered. So I could get an RV, take the risk. Would I still get insurance? I'd probably get basic insurance, yeah. I don't know if somebody would steal it. Is it possible? Anything's possible, but with a lock and everything on it, I don't think it would ever get blown away in a hurricane, because if a hurricane comes, I'll probably have it towed to a storage place. Do I want to deal with all that? I don't know. Good point, Mike. I have to think about gap insurance. Gap insurance means if I get a loan on an RV, the value of the travel trailer versus how much I owe on the loan, there's usually a gap, especially when you first buy it. So that gap insurance covers. I remember I had that on a car. See, that's the other thing. I'm debt-free now. Do I want to go back in debt? I don't know. I got to talk to Sal, man. Nicole, hey, Nicole. Shout out to you, just getting off work. Nicole, just for fun, let me know in the comments. I'm thinking about buying an RV lot. What do you think? Yes or no? Ultimately, I mean, I'll own the decision. But I don't know, man. I mean, that's the other, one of my objectives was to be debt-free. I'm debt-free now. Do I want to go back in debt? I don't know, man. I got to think about this tonight, guys. So many people want to be where I'm at. Where am I at? Well, I'm debt-free. Now, do a lot of people really want to live in their car? Not really. A lot of people like the idea. A lot of people want to be debt-free, but they want a home base. That's true. That's true. Most people want a home base. Do I want a home base? I don't know. There's pros and cons, but if I get a home base, it's going to be an RV lot. Oh, yeah. And it may be this one. An N unit with no neighbors on one side, right by the beach in South Florida. Low property taxes, around $1,100 a year. HOA fee, $200 a month. That's a biggie. But We have the safe sanctuary. I'm never stealthing again. I'm never going to Planet Fitness again. Do I never go to Starbucks again? That's possible. That's possible. I'm drinking free Starbucks water now. Hold on a second. Hold on. Do I see myself buying spring water again and storing it in my house? I don't know about that. I got to think about that. Maybe. Nicole, I would want a home base. Good price. Around $80,000, Nicole. It is fine. I can finance it for 10 years. There's a local bank that will give you RV lot financing for 10 years. About $80,000. That's how much the RV lot, right on the beach. Well, a block in from the beach. Let me say that. No water view, though. It doesn't have a water view. If it had a water view, it'd be like double. Mike Reed. Strong strap downs. Yeah, that's a good point, Mike. Strong strap downs taped into the concrete should be good for up to a Cat 3. Damn, Mike, that's a good comment. Lock down every corner of the camper. That's a good comment, man. Yeah, I've seen people that do that. You buy a travel trailer, you anchor it to the concrete pad. I didn't know it's good to a Cat 3 storm. Now, last year, Hurricane Dorian was a Cat 5 or Cat 4. So I would have had to tow it off. Or it would have been recommended to tow it off. I could have took my chances probably. So I have to think about that. Like, if I own that lot, you got to talk out everything, guys. If I own that lot last year, this time, a month from now, I would have to have had that RV towed off that lot. I would have had to pay a tow truck company. I would have put in a storage place. I got to think about this. Frank, $80K, that's a lot. It is. Frank, you can buy a condo for $200K, no doubt. You could buy a condo in some places of Florida for $80K, no doubt. So, I don't want a condo, though. That's just me personally. I don't want a condo. Even though this is in like a community that's like a condo community, I want an RV lot. That way I don't want to worry about sheetrock, ceiling fans. Tow the RV lot off it, tow the RV off it, and that's all I worry about. Frank. 80K just for a lot, nothing on it. Yeah, nothing on it. I would have to buy a travel trailer for I'd get a cheap one for about $10,000 or under. Mike Reed. Nah, Frank, a real condo would suck. It wouldn't be for me. There's some people that like the condo life. I don't think I ever own a condo or a single family house. That's what I think. I don't think I would. I got to think about this, though. I can't be emotional. You guys are making good points. You got to pick up a lifted diesel truck. Now, I ain't doing that. To haul that thing around. Yeah, that's why I think, Jay, I'm going to keep the Jeep. If I buy a travel trailer, I'm not changing my car. So how am I going to ever tow it off that lot? I'm going to hire a tow truck company for a couple $100 to tow it off if there's a hurricane, or I'm going to rent a U-Haul truck and tow it myself. But I ain't going to have I'm not going to buy a pickup truck or anything like that. I don't think I ever would do that. Good point. Mike, is the lot nice? Yes. Has palm trees? Yes. Rock native plants? It's not as nice, Mike, as a different one I looked at this in the winter, but it does have some nice, like, native stuff. And one side of it is just like grass area. I could plant some trees or like put some landscaping around it, but it does have some palm trees, yes. Nicole, if you find parking easily, don't get harassed much, then I might say no. Yeah, see, that's the big thing. Like, with Planet Fitness, Golden Corral, and Walmart no longer being 24/7 because of the coronavirus in Florida, my stealth camping is gone. So, now I don't know if that's still going to be in play in October, November. It depends how this coronavirus plays out. That's a big risk. So, if the pandemic stays for at least a year or so, then this home base would help me get through it. And it's a long-term solution to that problem. So it has its pros and its cons, but it's something I'm going to have to work out in my mind, you know. But yeah, pray for me, guys. I'll keep you posted. It's going to be hard for me to ever give up the nomad life because I know I have it good. I'm not one of those guys that think I have it bad. I think I have it good. However, I do want to be strategic about the future. If the right opportunity at the right price, the right logistics comes up, I may take it. Um, so I'll keep you guys posted. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you, Frank. Also for the extra super chat. Thank you, Savat. Thank you, NBRV. Thank you, all my members, Nicole, Mike Reed, J Node, Backwoods, Edith. Thank you. Edith says, the biggest negative is anything tied to an HOA. That's a fair point. If the country continues to go down, this is a good point, and peeps stop paying HOA, where does that leave you? Yeah, with a dildo up my butt. You're right, Edith. That's a fair point. I got to think about that tonight. Tonight, I'm going to visualize all these things. I want you guys to visualize whatever your dreams are. So one of my dreams was possibly getting a home base in Florida, maybe an RV lot. My biggest dream is retiring early, being financially free, and living a good life. But right now, I'm in a public parking lot, and I got people all around my vehicle. And so, I don't know. The next live feed may come from an RV lot. Well, it won't happen at least for 2 months. So, we'll see. All right, guys. Peace and love. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, everyone. Backwoods. You don't need to lift the diesel at all. Just get a stock diesel truck to tow. Good diesel fuel economy, especially if tuned correctly. Well, all right, thank you for the comment. I don't think I'll get a diesel, but I may rent one. Mike, the 500 HOA is a steep, man. Well, it's $200 a month for the HOA. It'll be $100 for the electric. The HOA includes the water. The HOA fee includes the water, sewer, trash, and the pool and all the amenities, private beach access. So it has a lot of amenities. The only thing I'm paying for outside of the HOA is electric bill. So $200 for the HOA. Let's just say max $100 for the electric in the summer. That's only in the summer. In the winter, the electric's probably only like $50 or less because I only got a travel trailer. So $200 for the HOA, $100 max for the electric. Property taxes, if I average them per month, probably about $100. So about $400 a month. The 500 HOA is steep. Nah, no 500. I can't do that. Yeah. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, people surrounding me. I'll see you guys in the next one. We'll see what happens. I'll keep you posted. God bless.